Alright, because I got a couple requests for it. Today we are doing my top 5 least favorite Godzilla films. Did my top 10, and as I said on that video, my top 10 may include some of people's least favorite Godzilla films in it. Gigan specifically is one that people tend to dislike. But I've got my own set of ones that I am not a fan of, and I didn't want to do a top 10 least favorite because that would cover 2/3 of the entire Godzilla franchise in best and worst, and that just didn't seem fair in a way. So I'm going to cover my least favorite 5 Godzilla films. Number 5, Godzilla against Megagodzilla. This movie is the 3rd incarnation of Megagodzilla, the 4th movie with Megagodzilla in it, and yet another reboot in the Millennium series, as almost all those movies are. And the plot centers around humans taking the original Godzilla's bones out of Tokyo Bay and building a giant robot Godzilla around them. And really, I feel like it's a very derivative and fairly boring film overall. It should have moments that are exciting and fun, and watching it, I just kind of feel like, yeah, I saw this done better in anime like Neon Genesis Evangelion and things like that. And it just feels very lackluster overall. Number 4, another entry in the Millennium series, the 2nd entry in the Millennium series, Godzilla vs. Megaguirus. In this one, Godzilla fights some bugs that came through a black hole portal or something like that. Really, quite honestly, the reason this makes my worst list is because I've seen it 3 times, and I don't remember the plot the next day after watching it. I know Godzilla fights a bug. It kind of looks like Batra. Probably should have been Batra, but it's not. I just never really remember what was happening in this film. So, for the fact that it can never keep my attention, it makes this list. Number 3, Godzilla vs. Megalon. And I'll admit, this one almost made my top 10 as well, but I think it would be fair to put this on both my top 10 and my worst 5, because it's horribly campy, ultra silly, relies on tons and tons of stock footage. It's just a dumb movie, but it does have some fun to it. Jet Jaguar is a ridiculous Ultraman ripoff. Godzilla has never looked goofier. Gigan's back. Megalon looks ridiculous, and I love that they gave him a beam that came out of his antenna that let them just recycle stock footage of Ghidorah blasting things because it's the same yellow golden beam that shoots out. There's a really campy Jet Jaguar song, and it's a movie made for children, and it's really dumb, but I do have a weird enjoyment of it, even though it ranks among the worst movies of the series. Number 2, All Monsters Attack, better known as Godzilla's Revenge here in the States, and this movie is one that I hadn't seen until fairly recently. When I picked it up on the Classics Media DVD you see here, and I didn't even watch this for probably about a year after I got it, because I heard for years how horrible this movie was. It's often been considered the very worst Godzilla movie ever made. I remember back when I was kind of first using the internet, I know it was on dial-up that I found this website, but it was a Godzilla website. He had ratings of all the movies. I'd go and read them because I'd never seen most of the movies. I hadn't had the ability to see them. So I'd want to see, what am I missing? Which one should I go see first when I have the chance? And usually he'd give it, rating from 1 to 5 or whatever. And I remember this one, he gave, bombs for the rating instead of actually a star rating system or whatever he was using. And it was built up to me as the worst one. Watching it, it is the worst movie of the Showa series, easily. It's definitely number 2 in my mind as worst Godzilla film. But I think if I watched it as a kid, I would have actually liked it a little bit. It centers around a child who basically daydreams that he's on Monster Island with Godzilla's son Minya, and watches Godzilla fight other monsters and eventually helps Minya fight Gabara, a really weird-looking monster. Most of the fights are stock footage from other movies, so if you've seen the previous movies in the series, you've seen the fights and better clips of them and extended versions of them. And basically the kid uses these imaginings on Monster Island to help him confront bullies in his own life and issues in his own life. And it comes out being really lame, just for the fact that it doesn't actually happen. every movie in the Showa series exists within a continuity, and things happen, and you can kind of make a chronological order map of everything. This one's just in somebody's imagination. And my number one worst Godzilla movie of all time is Godzilla 1998.